HawkingHills.com.
Tonight on Newswatch, Athens City Council votes to approve construction of 3 Conestoga huts on North Congress Street. Plus, on Capitol Hill, a House bill forcing the release of the Epstein files passes unanimously. And in sports, Ohio University football hosts the University of Massachusetts in their final home game of the season. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening. Welcome to Newswatch. I'm Parker Davis. The Ohio Supreme Court will hear oral arguments on a case regarding hydraulic fracturing waste in southeast Ohio. Case name Bethel Oil and Gas v. Redbird Development stems from the discovery of hydraulic fracturing waste fluids in natural gas wells in Washington County. Bethel Oil and Gas, which operates wells in Washington and Athens County, sued Redbird Development, arguing their disposal practices damaged or could damage its production. The proceedings began this morning and will continue tomorrow. After months of debate, Athens City Council passes the Conestoga Hut project. The huts have been controversial among Athens residents, despite only 3 being proposed under the ordinances. Originally, the proposals contained 2 ordinances, the first allowing for the 3 huts and the second allowing for huts in B3 and R3 zones, but the pushback has stalled this ordinance. The temporary shelters will be placed at the Gathering Place on North Congress Street, and the Gathering Place will be extensively vet the individual selected. Athens residents will have to decide whether to approve an income tax increase on the 2026 May primary ballot. At last night's City Council meeting, the city presented a 0.2% increase on Athens residents alongside the date the measure will be on the ballot. During the 2025 spring elections, Athens voted down an increase of 0.3%, and council members said this new change acknowledged public sentiment over the previous measure. The new increase would not take effect until January 2027. The Ohio State University is launching a new training program that prepares first responders to treat people under the influence of psychedelics. The free training educates providers on what psychedelics are, their effects, and possible complications they can cause, and how to respond in crisis. The new training program comes as a result of the increased number of Ohioans using hallucinogens. Well, it's definitely been a damp day here in Athens. Forecaster Rachel Grant has the latest on what conditions are looking like out there right now.
Yeah, Parker, we are still seeing the rain. We've seen it really all day today, but in the last hour or so, we've seen a little bit of freezing rain passing through us as well. We are currently seeing it dwindle down a little bit, and we're catching a small break from the rain right now. That's giving us these overcast skies, 41 outside right now, and a gentle breeze coming from the east, but it is feeling like 38 outside. So if you're going to the football game tonight, make sure you have that rain jacket, that poncho, that umbrella. You're definitely going to need it tonight, as we will not be seeing this rain letting up anytime soon. We're seeing rain going into tonight by stopping at around 11 p.m. with that low of 37. It's going to feel like the lower 30s for this evening, but heading into tomorrow, though, no need to worry about the rain. It'll just be mostly cloudy skies for our Wednesday with a high of 53, and we'll see what the rest of the week looks like later on in Newswatch. For now, we're going back to Parker.
Thank you, Rachel. House Representatives passed a bipartisan bill compelling the Department of Justice to release all of its case files tied to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. It follows months of pushback from the president and the majority of his Republican Party. This despite President Donald Trump promising to release the files when he was campaigning to re-enter the White House. Today, congressional members moved the release of all Epstein records one step closer. Next up, the Senate. Maribel Gonzalez reports.
On this vote, the yeas are 427, the nays are 1.
With near unanimous support, House members voted to release the Epstein files. Despite Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson voting yes, he did not mince words ahead of the vote, calling the bill, quote, deceitful and dishonest, arguing it would not sufficiently protect victims of Epstein's crimes.
This legislation that will pass today is flawed and it must be amended.
So now we rely upon our partners in the other chamber to get that done.
That chamber is the Senate, where Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer urged members to take up a vote as early as today. Survivors agreed, issuing a message to President Donald Trump Tuesday morning.
I am traumatized. I am not stupid. You have put us through so much stress, the lockdowns, the halt of these procedures that were supposed to have happened 50 days ago.
A reference to Arizona Democratic Representative Adelita Grijalva, who waited 50 days before she was officially sworn in. She was the decisive 218th member in support of the discharge petition to force a House vote on the release of the Epstein case files.
The survivors are the ones who want this bill. And of course it protects the victims because we worked with the survivors in drafting the bill.
President Trump said he'll sign the bill if Congress passes it, even though to this day he calls the issue a, quote, Democratic hoax. I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
That bill now moves to the Senate, who says they will pass it without delay once they receive it. It will then move to President Donald Trump's desks. Trump said he would sign the bill if Congress passed it, a reversal of his past position.
Next in sports, Ohio football is set to take on UMass tonight in what will be their final home game of the season with some big MAC championship odds on the line.
And we are still seeing rain tonight, but this will all clear out overnight. Find out what the rest of your week looks like when Newswatch returns.
So happy you're home, darling. We're doing a brand new musical.
Fabulous.
Charlie's gonna help with the show. It'll be fun.
How am I meant to work under these conditions?
Now, boom! There's a way things are done here.
This is musical theatre.
I scream into the phone.
For what it's worth, you've really got something.
Shocking, but keep going.
Miss Austen.
Miss Scarlett.
Miss Austen was sister to the great lady novelist Jane Austen.
What's she doing here?
My name's...
I know exactly who you are.
The Lady Detective. Miss Scarlett, isn't it?
Miss Austen.
Miss Scarlett!
Miss Austen.
Miss Scarlett.
Come along.
You know this is dangerous stuff to be meddling in, don't you?
Oh. All mysteries need to be solved. Pedal to the metal!
This is a serious investigation.
Game changer.
I'm Chief Inspector Maygrave.
Well, well, the great detective.
So I've nicked every villain in this city once and the good ones twice.
He's disappeared off the face of the earth.
What?
When my parents left us their home, we weren't sure what to do with the property.
Do you have land, residential, or commercial property you're not using? Donate it and support our station. You may even qualify for a sizable tax deduction.
It feels good to be able to give back, and they would have loved that too.
Your real estate donation can make a real impact. Call us toll-free or visit us online.
In sports tonight, Ohio plays their final home game of the season against the University of Massachusetts. Reporter Donovan Varney is live at Peden Stadium with more before the game.
Yeah, it looks like we're set for a bit of a rainy kickoff here. We're actually in delay right now for a little bit of severe weather, but still sad it's the last home game because there's nothing like packing Peden for some Tuesday night action here. And Ohio University is actually set to take on University of Massachusetts tonight. And this is the newest member of the MAC conference. And the last time these two teams played was way back in 2018. The Bobcats took a home win, 58-42 in that one. Tonight, Ohio plays them again. They are 4-0 against University of Massachusetts, and in each of those games, they're averaging over 50 points. Expect to see Parker Navarro and the Bobcats offense come out swinging this week. After putting up only 13 in last week's loss to Western Michigan on the road, the Bobcats are going to look to score early and often. Navarro recorded his season low in passing yards against the Broncos, but the combination of him and C.A. Bangura combined for just over 200 yards on the ground. The Minutemen defense has been giving up on average over 200 rush yards a game, so I'd expect to see a lot of Navarro and Bangura tonight as they try to expose that run defense. Tonight's game has big implications on the Bobcats MAC championship odds, but a lot of other things need to happen. Here's Coach Smith on their focus heading into tonight.
The focus is on winning, and that's what I talk about with eliminating external factors, focusing on ourselves, our execution. I know players are going to be looking at that kind of stuff and trying to figure it out on their own, but we got to control what we can control, and the first thing we can control is how we play on Tuesday.
So as of now, Ohio's MAC championship odds are still alive. Here's the simplest route for them, okay? The Bobcats need to win out, win tonight, and win against Buffalo next week. They also need Miami and Toledo to lose one of their last 2 games of the season. They need a lot to happen, like I mentioned, but it starts for them tonight, and they're actually favored by over 30, which is pretty nice for them. But on the other hand, the Bobcats men's basketball team hosts Bethune-Cookman tomorrow, and that one, they're coming off of 2 double-digit losses on the road. One of those to a ranked Louisville team. So in that game, Pavletsky led all scorers with 28 points on 8 for 14 from shooting, while Aiden Hadaway, J.J. Kelly, and Dior Connors all scored in double digits. Bethune-Cookman is also sitting with a 1-3 record after their loss to Dayton on Saturday. A win against the Wildcats would be just the momentum boost they need before they head to Florida to finish out the rest of the Sunshine Slam. And I would be remiss if I didn't hit on some high school football. The hour-long Gridiron Glory season finale is this Friday, and we've got 2 big regional final games to cover for you guys on that one. So Region 19 has 2 of our 7-4-0 teams going head-to-head, Wheelersburg and Nelsonville York. The Buckeyes are back in the regional finals for the first time since 2017, while Wheelersburg is back for the 3rd year in a row. In Region 15, though, we've got a rematch of last year's regional finals between New Lexington and Indian Valley. In addition to our 2 regional finals games, our all-GG teams will be announced Coach of the Year winner and Player of the Year winner. So the polls have closed on voting, so you'll just have to wait and see on Friday night at 11:30. Our nominees this year are Julian Baker, Carte Ligon, Eric Manley Jr., Adam Guthrie, and Bryce McLaughlin. So make sure you catch the hour-long finale to see who takes home the trophy this Friday. But that's all we have for sports. Time to see what happens with the Bobbies tonight. We'll send it back to you guys in studio.
Thank you, Donovan. So looking out at that scene, it does not look like the best football weather for sure. Do you think it's going to clear up soon? Do you have any information on that?
I hope at least that the delay will hopefully go away in the next hour or so. It's been a couple of lightning strikes detected in the Athens area, so it's probably why it got delayed, but we are looking at some lighter showers for this evening.
Okay, well that's unfortunate, but hopefully it will start to clear off and go a bit.
Yeah, and if we're looking at the radar right now, we're not really seeing the rain really let up just yet, though. We're seeing a little bit of freezing rain passing through us in the last hour or so. Lightning strikes have been detected for our area, and that's probably the reason we're seeing that delay at the Peden Stadium. But this is all clearing out right now in the next couple of hours. We won't be necessarily catching a break from the rain up until around 11 p.m. tonight, and that's also another reason why we're seeing most of us are under this general thunderstorm risk. This is just saying that thunderstorms are likely to occur for most of the area here that is shaded. It's covering most of Ohio and West Virginia, and even going down into Virginia. So we're seeing thunderstorms continuing going into tonight, though, but we saw a lot of rain today. It was mostly showers for today. High of 41. It was cold. It was dreary. Definitely did not feel like the 40s today. It was very cold walking around during our lunchtime commutes and even during our commutes back home today. But heading into this evening, we're seeing showers still remaining for tonight. Seeing that low of 37. And feeling very closer to the lower 30s rather than the higher 30s. But tomorrow, no need to worry about the rain for then. You don't need the rain jacket, no umbrella. It's going to be mostly cloudy skies for tomorrow. High of 53. We'll actually be staying in the 50s for most of this week here. And this is from this cold air sector we're seeing right here covering our area. That's going to move up north a little bit. It's going to condense a little bit. And we're going to see these 2 warm sectors here, one just near Florida and one just near Texas. Those are going to combine together, and then it's going to move up north. So we'll be in the 50s, and we'll even reach the 60s later on this week here. So after today and after tonight, no need to worry about the jacket, as we'll be seeing this warm front really coming through. So here's the rain that we're seeing tonight. That's going to move out east to us. We're going to see a little bit more rain for this evening, though, but that should all really clear out by around 11 p.m. to midnight. So then we're going to start to see a little bit of warm air coming up north. That low pressure system is going to stick around a little bit, and that's what's going to bring us maybe a couple of showers for tomorrow morning, but that's going to all clear up by then. Again, a little bit of showers might be seeing for tomorrow morning as well, but that high pressure system is going to come up from the east, and that's going to stick around for this weekend as well. So Wednesday, we're going to see that mostly cloudy skies for tomorrow, high of 53. And again, this will be the start of us being in the 50s for a while. So we'll be in a high of 57 for Thursday as well. Mostly cloudy skies still remaining for then, as we are seeing some rain to start off our weekend. But we'll still be in the 60s for Friday, high of 60 for then, 60% chance of showers as well. And then we'll see that chance start to dip down going into Saturday, being in the higher 50s for then as well. So relatively warm for this time of year, and that's really only going to continue heading into this weekend and even next week. So we won't see the sun really return for a while until next week on Sunday with a high of 57, but showers are really going to be on and off for the next couple of days.
Coming up, North Carolina's immigration crackdown continues, with immigration officers moving to Raleigh. And Thanksgiving travel is on the horizon, and AAA predicts a record number of Americans will be on the road this year. We'll be right back, but until then, be sure to follow us on Instagram and X to stay up to date on all the news in Southeast Ohio. And stay tuned for a brand new episode of The Lookout coming tomorrow.
The President of the United States is dead. There's no question but that Oswald is the man.
There has to be a commission that will be led by this revered figure, Chief Justice Warren.
CIA never told the Warren Commission about its program to assassinate Fidel Castro.
Had the Secret Service known of Oswald's threat, Oswald would not have been able to assassinate President Kennedy.
Saturday at 8 on WOUB.
I am in favor of closing the libraries until we find a solution to the pornographic filth we do have.
We have librarians who are misunderstanding what is healthy for children.
It didn't dawn on us that we would come under attack.
There was a list of 850 books.
We were told, get rid of them.
This can't be America.
The Librarians, Monday, February 9th at 10, 9 Central on PBS and the PBS app.
Feel the wonder wherever we are.
It was kind of a moment of enlightenment.
So come get lost with me. We'll see the great unknown.
It's home to me. Wow, that's beautiful.
We could be the greatest story ever told.
When we all work together, we make change. I still believe in that.
I'm excited. You my hero, you know that, right?
Thank you.
Most people believe that doctors are healers.
Love is why we're here.
Life goes fast,
Our story is everyone's story.
but it's just the start.
More than 200 people had been arrested since the immigration crackdown began across North Carolina over the weekend. And today, federal agents are conducting operations in the city of Raleigh. Michael Yoshida reports.
Federal immigration agents in North Carolina.
They asked me if I was a citizen. I said, yes, I'm a citizen. They asked if my father was a citizen. He does have an accent, so they pulled him to the side a little bit longer than they did I. But yeah, it's unfortunate.
After having their IDs checked, this man and his father were able to go back to doing yard work, but he questions why they were stopped to begin with.
We don't look like criminals.
Across Charlotte, more than 200 people have been arrested since the crackdown began over the weekend. Local officials and Democrats slamming the actions, while North Carolina's Republican Party praised the enforcement. It's being dubbed Operation Charlotte's Web and spearheaded by U.S. Customs and Border Protection.
Regardless of Republican or Democratic city,
we're going to enforce our laws across this country.
Some businesses in Charlotte closing their doors after agents chased and tackled people. The owner of this bakery says he's protecting his customers.
I don't want to blame myself, knowing that maybe a kid lost her father or their mother because wasn't his way to buy bread at the bakery.
With immigration agents now moving to Raleigh, the mayor urging residents to be peaceful and respectful.
We didn't ask for this presence. This is, concerning to many, and that folks may want to exercise their First Amendment rights or, protest or other things. And we just want people to be safe, so please be lawful.
In Washington, Michael Yoshida.
A Tennessee judge has temporarily blocked the deployment of National Guard troops in Memphis. Republican Governor Bill Lee sent troops after President Trump said he wanted to crack down on crime in the city. But Democratic lawmakers pushed back, arguing that Governor Lee had overstepped his authority. The judge agreed, citing concerns over using state military forces to handle domestic law enforcement. The state has 5 days to appeal before the pause goes into effect. The Trump administration will move some Department of Education offices as it shifts responsibility away from the department. According to a news release, 6 departments will be moved to partner with 4 other agencies: the Departments of Health and Human Services, Labor, Interior, and State. It comes as President Donald Trump signed an executive order in March seeking to dismantle the Department of Education. But the department still has some oversight and leadership over them, allowing the Secretary of Education to roll back their responsibilities. The Trump administration is introducing a new way to make housing more affordable. It's called a portable mortgage. Ivan Rodriguez reports on how this new measure could work and how it might backfire.
Many homeowners feel locked into their interest rate, but what if they could move with it?
If you have someone who has an extremely low rate and the high 2s, low 3s on a home that they currently own, they may not want to move to another home because they're going to go from those low rates to current market rates, which are significantly higher.
Not only could a portable mortgage provide more flexibility to move to a new home, but it could also free up supply for future home buyers. Justin DeMola with Lenders One says in concept it sounds great, but it does come with a lot of questions.
If people are upgrading their homes, how are they going to bridge that gap for the equity for the down payment?
DeMola says in this case it depends on how much the homeowner is upgrading. Additionally, mortgage agreements are clear contracts tied to a specific property, with the home's address listed as collateral. Transferring that loan to a new house would mean effectively rewriting the contract. And one key question, will banks go along with this? Congress might have to pass new laws.
We don't know how that's going to work, but when we look at it, we really have to pay attention to, again, the mechanics of a mortgage, right? How are we going to actually take the workflow and make it so that a mortgage could be portable?
In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
A federal judge ruled that Meta is not an illegal social networking monopoly. The judgment comes after the Federal Trade Commission sued the Facebook parent company in 2020, claiming their acquisition of would-be rival sites Instagram and WhatsApp is a violation of antitrust laws. The 7-week trial included testimony from Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, who argued the company has plenty of competition from platforms like YouTube and TikTok. AAA projects a record number of Americans will travel at least 50 miles from home over the Thanksgiving holiday. And more people on the road means the possibility of more wrecks. According to data analyzed by the tech company Samsara, it's the busiest travel day of the year. Early winter conditions can also increase risk of crashes, but experts say drivers can reduce their risk by leaving earlier in the day, avoiding night travel, and keeping extra space around large trucks. It's National Injury Prevention Day, and unintentional injuries are the leading cause of death for U.S. children and teens. According to the CDC, killing thousands every year. Mandy Gaither talks to an emergency medicine doctor about how to protect children from preventable accidents.
From car accidents to firearm deaths, unintentional injuries from accidents kill more children and teens than anything else, according to the CDC, and many of these injuries are preventable.
For every child that dies, there are many more that suffer serious injuries.
Dr. Manisha Agarwal with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says protecting children starts with car safety. For infants and toddlers, that means a rear-facing car seat for as long as possible before switching to a forward-facing seat and then a booster seat.
A big mistake I see is families get so excited about graduating or transitioning their child to the next step in car seat safety, but that's actually reducing their child's protection in the event of a crash.
Agarwal says airbags can be dangerous to young passengers in the front seat, so children should stay in the back seat for safety. Another unintentional injury danger is firearms. Agarwal says families with a gun in the home should lock it up, unloaded, with ammunition locked separately.
It is such an important way to prevent children from dying from guns.
Finally, outdoor safety. Agarwal says children on wheeled vehicles like a bicycle or scooter should be wearing a properly fitting helmet that hits 2 fingers above the eyebrows and snug around the chin.
You want to make sure that that helmet has not expired. They typically need to be replaced every 5 years.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Still ahead, Athens police officers caught an unexpected escapee earlier this week. And here's a look at what's coming up next on your public television station.
Next time on the American Revolution, Battleground, New York.
Washington makes a number of tactical mistakes.
Women continue to be at the heart of the resistance.
If our men are all drawn off, you would find a race of Amazons in America.
And the reality of war.
The United States came out of violence.
When the American Revolution continues.
Tonight at 8 on WOUB.
PBS viewers believe that businesses that sponsor PBS on WOUB Public Television have a commitment to quality and excellence. Sponsoring a PBS television program offers your business a unique opportunity to connect with a highly engaged, loyal, and trustful audience in a clutter-free environment, leading to increased brand awareness, positive perception, and potential for higher customer engagement. Your sponsorship is important to the community, and the rewards come back to you in the form of loyal customers. Align your organization with America's most trusted news and public affairs network. WOUB Public Television is worthy of your trust. Contact Corporate Support Director Kathy Malesic at 740-593-4909 or online at woub.org/support.
CasualWorks was not designed, created, or maintained by people who studied disability. They're people who studied opportunity. If a person has very limited movement and can make little teeny circles, there's a place for you. The idea of workers contorting themselves to a job is one business model. Our business model is that the job responds to the worker.
Athens police officers wrangled an escaped horse on U.S. Route 50. Athens police were first notified of a horse on Route 33 near East State Street yesterday at 5:28 in the morning. The horse was later located by police 20 minutes later on Route 50, where it was reunited with its owner, who reported it missing from the previous night. Well, that is quite unusual. I've never seen anything like that. What about you?
I have not either.
No, I mean, it's not every day. I take that route a lot from home anyway, so it's very strange though. But speaking of roads, on that topic, what's going on with this flooding? Are the roads going to be affected by that?
It shouldn't for us necessarily. It might just be a little bit to any places that are near any rivers or any low-lying areas, but not necessarily huge risk for us. There's more rain more out west to us than it is here in Athens and even southeastern Ohio, so nothing to worry about for flooding for us.
Well, that's good to know because, you know, there's a lot of traveling, especially the holidays coming up, so you want to be sure that everyone's safe, so yes. Yeah. But that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thank you so much for watching. For Rachel Grant, I'm Parker Davis. Have a great night and stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next.